Good morning, boys. It's currently 6:17 a.m. Just did my morning routine a little bit later this morning due to my alarm not going off, but we still got it done. Today I'm going to talk about why discipline is so important with fat loss. And to be honest, life in general, but my channel is a fat loss channel and that's what I try to talk about. Obviously, I take you through my lessons, but I try to teach you guys mainly about fat loss and how we can implement that into your life. So, that being said, why is discipline important? I'm just going to start off by explaining my morning routine. So I wake up, I pray. Always start off with God, right? Second of all, I jump straight into a cold shower. That's not easy. That's to build my discipline. I don't do it for any other benefits. Yes, it increases dopamine. Yes, it's really good for you, etc., but I do it because it's difficult. Then I go outside and I do push-ups or a plank. I'm starting to transition into push-ups now. That's not easy. Nobody wants to do that. I normally wake up at 5 a.m. That's the deadline. Nobody wants to be doing push-ups at 5:15 a.m., right? Every single day. Then I go in my room, meditate and journal. Now those tasks, I believe to myself, I can do more physical stuff. I'm not a guy who can just enjoy sitting down and doing shit. I'm not a guy who just enjoys meditating or enjoys journaling. I do it because it's beneficial for me and it's not easy to do. That's why I do it. That being said, why is discipline so important? Discipline is the biggest form of self-love. Discipline is the biggest form of self-love. You're giving up comfort in the current moment, in the now, to have a better life in the future for the future you. So every time I go to do something difficult that I don't want to do, my discipline kicks in and I'm like, yeah, but you in 2 days, you in 3 years, you in 10 years, you're going to look back and be glad that you did it, right? It's like cleaning your room, it's like whatever, right? Think of it when you meal prep. When I meal prep, I'm so glad when I'm eating my meal. I'm like, I'm so glad I meal prepped, man. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't be eating right now. Or I'd be eating something subpar. I'm so grateful for the past version of myself. When I look in the mirror and I see my physique, I'm like, I'm so glad for the past 3 years I've been hitting the gym. And I'm so proud of the past self, right? Discipline is what keeps you going. It's important because that's what solidifies your progress. Motivation, sure, it's good. It's what gets you started. But motivation fades. You can't rely on motivation. You need to rely on discipline. That's the foundation. In the tough times where your brain is telling you, no, I don't want to do it. Motivation doesn't fix that. Discipline, that's what fixes it. That's what pushes you through. That's what gets you the progress. I used to be that guy who played 12 hours a day video games. I had no discipline then. I did whatever I wanted to do, whatever I felt like doing. Now, I actually aim for discipline. I actually aim for discomfort because I know that that leads to growth. I know that that leads to a better version of me, one that I'll be proud of, one that my younger self wishes that he would be. I used to look for comfort. I would shy away from anything slightly difficult, and I feel like that's what everybody goes for in this generation. I know, I sound like one of those gurus who's like, oh, this generation, comfort, whatever, but it's true. If you talk to anyone, most of them are just constantly looking for comfort and they don't strive for growth. Discomfort is what leads to growth. If you look back at why inventions were made, why houses were built, it's because they were out in the rain, they were uncomfortable and they're like, we need to build something. They went into the caves and then they're like, all right, we're going to start building houses, whatever it is. Cars were built because people wanted a quicker way to be transported, and now we have that. Discomfort leads to growth. When you train at the gym, your biceps, when you break them down, when you get uncomfortable, that leads to growth. So you need to aim for the discomfort. It's not easy to get a six-pack. And if it was, nobody would care if you had a six-pack. Everyone asks me, what's the easiest way to get a six-pack? There is no easy way. It's difficult. Some people are genetically blessed. People like myself aren't. We have to work for it. And the fact that we do have to work for it makes it valuable, right? Having a Lamborghini is valuable because it's not easy to get. It's the same principle. So embrace the fact that it is hard. And in those moments where you're like, oh man, I don't know if I can, push through and realize that most people give up there. And then you'll be proud of yourself, and then you'll see the progress the next morning and be like, shit, I'm glad I did. And then that keeps pushing you forward. I wouldn't say my life is very hard, but I'm grateful for the fact that it isn't easy. I have to manage 70 plus clients. I do my morning routine. I get up at 5 a.m. every day. I train 7 days a week, whatever it might be, right? I put myself in these uncomfortable situations so that I can curate growth, so that I can then be better. And if you're complaining that your life is hard, ask yourself, did my great-grandfather have a harder life than me? Of course they did, man. Of course they did. You curate your reality. If you're unhappy with where you are, you will make a change. You will change it. I talked to a guy who was 500 pounds and he's like, man, I just can't live like this anymore. And if he genuinely couldn't, I talked to him, if he's lost weight, that shows me that he was genuinely uncomfortable and that he made it, that he needed to make a change. Because you can sit in the discomfort of being 500 pounds or make the change and be uncomfortable getting fit and losing the weight. Vice versa, you can sit in the comfort of eating Cheerios, or you can sit in the comfort of seeing yourself in the mirror getting better every single day. You curate your reality. I wrote down my 2025 goals yesterday. I'm not a very big new year, new me person, but I thought I'd just write down some goals and really strive to achieve them. And I'm sitting there writing it down, realizing I can genuinely make this happen. I could probably do more. So I wrote down the more, and I'm like, shit, that's a lot. But you can write your own story. Life is like a video game. It's so crazy. With this mindset, it's so hard to fail. And if you do fail, it's not failure, it's learning and it's growing, and then you go back at it again. Just realizing that you can do whatever you put your mind to. Whoever's listening to this, you can do whatever it is you put your mind to. I was that fat kid who used to play video games 10 hours a day. I never thought that I could be where I'm at. Now I'm a fat loss coach, managing 70 plus grown men how to lose weight and being successful. I got a message this morning saying, dude, it's been 3.5 months and I'm down 70 pounds. How sick is that? You curate your reality. I don't have to work at Woolworths anymore. I used to work at Woolworths and being talked down to, working hard, and all of these people just would talk down to you regardless of how hard you worked. I'd get paid less than everyone because I was younger. Now I'm getting paid in my own field in regards to how much value I put out. This is a bit of a side tangent on discipline, but it's what I feel like talking about, and this is what these raw car talks are going to be, guys, and I hope you enjoy them. Obviously, there's going to be like one viewer at the start, but that's what we're about, you know, humble beginnings, eh? Discipline is the biggest act of self-love. I said it once, I'm saying it again. You might be asking, how do I get more disciplined? Whatever you tell yourself you're gonna do it. People come up to me and they're like, oh, I got no confidence. You got no confidence and you're scared that you're not going to get results because you haven't taken action. Confidence comes from action. I'm confident in the fact that when I go to the gym, I'm going to get a pump, whatever. I'm confident that when I turn this wheel, that the wheels will move because it's action. If you don't turn the wheel, you don't, like if you've never turned the steering wheel, you're not going to know what's going to happen. If you take action, you're going to know because you've taken the action and you're going to see the results. So if you want to build discipline, whatever you tell yourself you're going to do it. Start off with a morning routine. For me, it's super simple. Pray, cold shower, push-ups, meditate, journal, done. then I go straight into work, whether that be recording a video, whether that be talking to my clients, whether that be doing check-ins, whether that be going straight to the gym. Imagine if you organise going out with a mate and you're like, all right, we're going to go out for lunch, 12 p.m, we're going to go to McDonald's, I don't know, Macca's. And then he's like, cool, I'll come. And then he doesn't show. Oh, okay, once, that's not bad, whatever. Look at the sun, boys. Then he does it again. And then he does it 10 times. After 10 times, you're not going to be friends with him. Why would you be confident and why would you love yourself if you've told yourself for the past 10 years, I'm going to make a change. It's New Year's, new me. I'm going to make this happen, right? Why would you trust yourself? Why would you be confident in yourself if you've been that friend who doesn't show up? You need to show up for yourself. Every morning I wake up, I show up. I'm like, I do not feel like getting in that cold shower, but I promised myself I would. And as soon as I get out, I'm like, fuck yeah. In the hardest moments, that's when breakthrough happens. That's where God tests you. He gives you a challenge and he's like, I want to see how this guy adapts. That's it for this one, legends. I hope you have a fantastic day. Go kill it. And I hope you got some value. Peace.